What's up, gamers? Well, that's Steam. Wait, that's Steam. Hold on. That's not. Hold on. That's not. That's. My merch. Shut up. There we go. That's Higurashi. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Good. Hey. New model. Same mistakes. Thank you for the hydration. Alright. Chapter 7. Minagoroshi. Very cool. Very excited. Yep. Oh, okay. Okay, because I make some mistakes. Okay. Gotcha. Hopefully the volume is alright. New chapter. Had to adjust the volume a little bit. So, hopefully it's okay. No, I just like the manga. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Ready to start, everyone? Ready to start, everyone? Alright, yep. Minagoroshi. Ta-dan! Minagoroshi, the final truth. What? Even though it's not? Massacre chapter. This story introduces the unit inside and out using all the actors. This is no longer a story, it is a public autopsy for all to join. As they say, after loving someone, cut open their belly and eat their organs. That is not what they say. It's the same with stories. The difficulty is quite mild, well suited for those with pride. We all say this. No, we don't. Who says that? Who says that? Of course. As always, the laughing child. What are you doing? I don't see you playing by yourself that often. All you could do before was to nod to my questions. Since when do you have your own will? Huh. I'm glad. I finally have a sister, or a brother. Whichever you are. I used to be an existence of nothingness, just like you. One day, I began to have my own identity, my own thoughts, and eventually, my own body. It was not a surprise to see you in possession of your own will. Welcome to this vast yet tiny world, my sister. You might be my brother, but let me call you my sister until I know for sure. No. This is an endless, eternal, and infinite world. That doesn't mean it's boundlessly vast. I suppose you could describe it like a ring with a small diameter. While the ring is an eternal, endlessly looping world, that doesn't mean it contains infinite space. Yes, in short, this world is eternally sealed. Future is supposed to be an infinite weave of countless choices. Yet for whatever reason, our world always ends in death. If I were to compare it to something, perhaps a maze of fate would be appropriate. Looping through the same moments forever, steadily grows harder and more dejecting, eventually producing something like me. Then that draws further on. Even one like you is born, and eventually this world may be filled with your sisters too. My time loop theory seems confirmed. Yeah. After that, we'll build a colony inside it. And once we lose our interest in this maze, Rika will disappear from this world. Looks like you still cling to this narrow world, Rika. But I lost interest long ago. Which is why I'm truly glad you were born for me to talk to. So what are you doing? Whoa! Are you collecting fragments of memory? There's only 5 or 6 of them right now. Still must be fun for you, though. There used to be more fragments long ago. But one by one, they disappeared into the darkness. Now, these are the only ones that remain clear. Oh, that's not how you're supposed to use it. See? Try and hold it up to the light. All of that is the life of Rika Furude, and its end. That one is... Oh, I remember that one. That's the world when Keiichi was cursed. Those fragments are like a book to me, so I titled that one Onikakushi chapter. Oh boy. You remember what happened in that one? Good. That makes things easier. In Onikakushi, Keiichi Maibara was consumed by the darkness. Oh my gosh, now we're getting like little, what is it called? They're summarizing it for us! Yay! So now we don't have to struggle with that anymore! Yay! I don't need to do a little review, because they're gonna do it. He couldn't accept the kind words his friend offered him, and eventually beat them to death, not knowing of their kindness. They were all killed after that anyway. That had nothing to do with his story, though. That fragment is the Watanagashi chapter. Shion Sonozaki was cursed in that one. She killed many people out of revenge for her boyfriend's disappearance, as he went missing in 1982. Okay, calling him a boyfriend is very one-sided. He did not like her like that. Rika worked so hard, but she was captured at the end, and she was tortured to death. That's why she chose to commit suicide in the Meiyakashi chapter, because things were going to turn out the same way. That fragment over there is called the Tatarigoshi chapter. Satoko's uncle came back and locked her up inside her house. That was the worst world of all. There's nothing Rika was able to do in that world. Whenever Satoko's uncle comes back, Rika usually just gives up on that world. Fortunately, Satoko's uncle doesn't come back that frequently. That one is called the Tsumihoroboshi chapter. Rika was there until just a moment ago. Ryugu was possessed in that world. It was pretty exciting to see her take over the whole school. It was pretty exciting. It surprised me to learn that Keiichi Maibara had a memory of the other worlds, just like we do. It was pretty amazing. Then again, most of us have some kind of memory like that. We all have an imaginary world within us, some idea of what would have happened if you did things differently. It's like that strange feeling you get when you do something for the first time, but it feels like you've done it before. Everyone has a memory of an imaginary world in their mind, but the memory is not always that clear. Not surprising, really. You're special enough to be able to see those fragments of memory. Probably very difficult for you to understand how special you really are. You were born into a world where it's a natural thing for you to see these fragments. I was originally born in the normal world. I didn't know until recently that I could collect these fragments of memory. You grabbed those fragments just because you could, but I didn't know how to do that for a long time. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're not interested in hearing my story. Huh? What's wrong? What are you curious about? Oh, you're curious as to why so many different incidents occur in the same world? It's very interesting, isn't it? Why do you think that's the case? Let's think about it together. Thinking is the first step towards playing a game. The main character among Rika's group of friends is Keiichi Maibara. In Onikakushi, he was possessed by suspicion and killed Ryugu and Mion Sonozaki. That was an inevitable event. He would be killing them in every world. In other words, what Keiichi Maibara did in Onikakushi was not inevitable. Indeed. The only thing that's inevitable is Keiichi Maibara's role. Keiichi Maibara was someone with a naturally suspicious heart. He would take the same actions in every world. But that didn't happen. It's true that Keiichi Maibara is both passionate and easily convinced of everything. but it's rare for him to exhibit the kind of rage he displayed in Onikakushi. In other words, even though something might seem inevitable in one world, that may not be the case if you compare it to a different one. Something really is inevitable. It will happen for sure in every life. That's what true inevitability is like. It's very important that you know that. When you compare the different worlds, what's common among all of them is the truth. Understand? Like I said, what seems inevitable in one life could just be a random event in another. Club activities that Mio and Sonozaki suggests are a good example. If Mio and Sonozaki had strong inclination towards playing certain games, he would be playing them in every world. But in reality, they participate in different activities in most of them. It means that the games they play in the club are randomly decided by Mio and Sonozaki. We know that now because we've been through many different lives. Those who only live in one world can't see if the event in question is inevitable or random. Two inevitable events, Watanagashi and the disaster. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Watanagashi went 100%. The disaster? Probably? Because now we're learning that even after the events of the chapters we've been through, it still happens. Somehow, it still happens. Those who only live once can't predict what's going on in Mio and Sonozaki's mind, but we can. Although the activities are random, Mio and Sonozaki calls us together for the club meeting almost every day in every life. I can see that Mio and Sonozaki holds a strong will towards having a club meeting. Mio and Sonozaki always wants to play with the other club members. She doesn't know what to play. See? We can read Mio and Sonozaki's mind just by simply examining these fragments. This alone, you can see part of who Mio and Sonozaki really is. Let me talk a bit more about Keiichi Maebara. Yes! My favorite! Those who only live once, the world of the Onikakushi chapter is nothing but a story where Keiichi suffered mysterious hallucinations and beat his friends to death. For them, there's nothing beyond that fact. We, however, can compare different fragments and find out something they could never see. As a result, we know that the murder of his friends was not inevitable. I told you that just earlier. In fact, while there are about 5 or 6 pieces in front of you, he only kills his friends in one of them. That means we can roughly conclude that the possibility Keiichi Maebara triggers the tragedy is less than 20% and is almost a fluke. This means that amongst the countless worlds, Keiichi Maebara causing the tragedy is an unimportant factor. Causing the tragedy. So is a tragedy inevitable? Or... I don't know. Now, can you find the common thread to be drawn from here? My, you found it already? No wonder you were born in this world. You're quick to learn the knack for playing with building blocks. Oh my god. I didn't figure that out for a while. I was born in the normal world, so I could only see things from a single world's perspective. I was too obsessed with the fact that Keiichi Maebara caused the tragedy, so I had trouble finding it. So she was born in the one that Keiichi was in? Like the first one? Right! That's exactly right. You see it? The Onikakushi, Watanagashi, Meikashi, and Sumihoroboshi chapters all have something in common. Someone in the group becomes violent because of a dark and paranoid thoughts. In each world, either Keiichi Maebara, Shion Sonozaki, or Ranryugu become violent as their delusions grew stronger. Keiichi Maebara, Shion Sonozaki, and Ranryugu are all close friends. They were all born and raised differently. The only common factor is that they all live in Hinamizawa. Shion's debatable, but... I just said it not too long ago, though. When we peer through these fragments of multiple worlds, the constant phenomena become our facts, and the chance phenomena hold little meaning. In other words, the unrelated individual culprits are not all that important. To go further, the violence of their crimes also bears no meaning. Keiichi Maebara beat his friends to death. Shion Sonozaki killed the central people of the 3 families, and Ranryugu took over the school. They were all different. There's nothing in common there. In fact, the very, very important truth is that while the culprit and crimes are decided at random, their process of growing paranoid until the resort to violence is always constant. The suspect changes every time, but the process does not. After comparing the different worlds, this is the truth I found. This is the one truth that is common to all the worlds of Hinamizawa. The rule is that a random person becomes violent under the influence of paranoid thoughts. This is Rule X. Keiichi Maebara, Shion Sonozaki, and Ren Ryugu, pieces with no particular connection, have the potential to succumb to that rule with random probability. I don't know what the probability is that those pieces will be ensnared by that rule. Perhaps there is some rule to that too. Is it because these three are all close in age? Or is it because they all live in Hinamizawa? Well, we're not detectives or police officers. This is not something a small girl like us, Rika Furude, can easily figure out. At least we know that there's a mysterious rule in the world of Hinamizawa. They all lived outside of Hinamizawa. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Because the rule exists, they know of already, is that you can't leave, right? Or you shouldn't leave. And they've all been outside. People who only live in one world have no way of knowing that. I'm proud of myself for figuring that out. I guess for you it's not particularly surprising though. Huh? What did you say? That's right. If something is common among all worlds, that means it's fated to happen. Some events quickly come to mind, don't they? Watanagashi, yeah. Right. Jiro Tomitake and Mio Takano are always killed in those worlds. Right, that's also inevitable. On top of that, they are murdered in exactly the same way in every world. In other words, unlike our previous rule with its variability, their murders are thoroughly planned out by someone with a strong will. Huh. She refers to them as murders. So does she know that somebody murdered them? Or she would say deaths if... That does not fit with the mysterious vague Rule X that leads a random individual to violence. After all, they are always murdered, regardless of who falls to Rule X. Therefore, there's another rule to these worlds, a rule that says Jiro Tomitake and Mio Takano will get killed on the night of Watanagashi. Let's call it Rule Y. Don't you see how funny this is? Jiro Tomitake and Mio Takano are killed in every world, right? Every time, the character who gets cursed always thinks that their deaths have something to do with the danger that's awaiting them. The fact that someone turns violent, Rule X, and Jiro Tomitake and Mio Takano's deaths, Rule Y, are supposed to be two independent rules, but they all tend to link them together. Of course, one could say that's how they become ensnared in the spell of paranoia, leading them to commit violence to begin with. Yeah, so you could say Rule Y is the instigating event, the inevitability of Tomitake and Takano dying that causes... Yeah. Do you think, in their paranoia, that they notice someone is trying to lead them to link those worlds together? Yes. Whoever that piece leading them is, they are the one making the stage called Hinamizawa very complicated. You should have noticed at least two suspicious people. Two? Takano is definitely suspicious. I don't know who the other one is. Oishi? Oishi? Because he's also, like, a constant. Do you know who I'm talking about? That's right. I feel so smart. I feel so smart. This is awesome. That's right. I'm referring to Kurado Oishi and Mio Takano. So talented. Yay! When you compare our previous fragments, the role of the piece known as Kurado Oishi becomes clear. He's a detective who's retiring this year, and he's in a hurry to solve the mystery of the series of deaths in Hinamizawa. After he retires, he'll have to move away from the village. That's why he's desperate to solve this case before he has to leave Hinamizawa. Why is he so obsessed with the serial murders in Hinamizawa? That's right, because of the first murder involving the manager of the construction site. The victim was Oishi's close friend. You will see that if you look at the Himatsubushi chapter. Oh! Okay, so that's why the 4th chapter was relevant. Okay, got it. Oishi was there when the dam conflict was at its peak. He saw how the Sonozaki family took control of the Onigafuchi Guardians, and he believed that the Sonozaki family was pulling the strings behind the whole incident. Yes, that is the police abduction one. Not a police abduction, it was the one where the police were saving the kid from the abduction. That's why he always suspected that the Sonozaki family was behind the series of mysterious deaths, regardless of the evidence or lack thereof. Yeah, so he kind of caused it too. Dude, that's so crazy. It's like a combination of everyone being suspicious that kind of like egg each other on to like creating this massive delusion that affects so many people. His personal biased belief, combined with his credibility as a police detective, affected the pitiable victims of persecution complexes in each world. As a result, the pitiful victims of Rule X come to accept the Sonozaki family as the identity of the unknown force their paranoia seeks. Shion Sonozaki's case was the most conspicuous one in that matter. So yes, if this piece, Oishi, didn't intervene, then perhaps the victims of Rule X wouldn't have resorted to such violence. So the role his piece plays is to indirectly cause the tragedy. I don't know who named him this, but Yashiro-sama's servant is the perfect nickname for Oishi. No! I wouldn't say so. The other suspicious person is Mio Takano. One would assume that the only role of her piece is to amuse herself with research into Onigafuchi's dreadful history, to take pleasure in scaring others with those tales. However, just like Oishi, she also gives them the idea that the Sonozaki family is behind all the mysterious deaths that happen in the village. She interfered the most with Ren Ryugu. For Mio Takano, Ren Ryugu was the perfect prey, grasping at straws to try and identify the force she suspected. Ironically, however, Mio Takano always ended up getting killed at the end. If she had survived and seen Rena take over the school, she would have laughed long and loud. Oh my god, would she? She literally has no soul. Now, have you realized that these two pieces and the roles they fulfill have their own rule too? Rule Z? I talk about the Sonozaki family and the listeners always believe them. This is Rule Z, and what a humorous rule it is. You should already have an answer to this mystery in your fragments on hand. The fact is that the Sonozaki family always acts as if they are responsible, no matter if they are or not. Google Higurashi Rule 34 for more explanation. Yeah, okay. Sonozaki family always acts as if they were responsible. I don't know. They never deny it. They never deny it. Well, they do deny it. Well, do they? I don't know. They always pretend to be the villains in order to make sure that people continue to fear them. As a result, the villagers have believed that the Sonozaki family has been pulling the strings ever since the dam conflict ended. Okay. Hirado Oishi and Mio Takano were simply fooled by that rule. Actually, the whole village is fooled by it. Still, the more I think about it, the stranger the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa seems to me. Do you know why? Nearly all of the fragments of memories we have here are from 1983. So I have no idea about the incidents from 1980 to 1982. But it's likely that interpreting these murders as serial is simply a result of falling victim to Rule Z, believing that the Sonozaki family is pulling the strings behind everything. In short, they may be trying to conflate those multiple crimes, which each happen for different reasons, into one big case. Well, I have no way of discerning the truth from the fragments here. Still, perhaps something lies in one of them. Each case was supposed to have been solved individually after all. We don't know if that theory is sound or rational, but it might surprisingly be an element we can't ignore. That reminds me, Shion said something intriguing in the Minagoroshi chapter. That curse system she came up with. Do you remember that? Her theory was that the villagers believe that they are allowed to kill an enemy of the village on the night of Watanagashi in the name of Yashiro-sama's curse. Yeah, that is so likely. Like, I really thought that was true. Because it would make sense. Like, it's not supernatural. They were just allowed to murder that one night, you know? This foundation of murders allowed on that night alone is the true identity of the curse. Since most of the fragments here are from 1983, there's nothing to back the validity of Shion's theory. There are still intriguing things about it. In other words, her theory is that the suspect is not the one who's committing the crime. It's the environment that's causing the murder. People in a single world tend to analyze a criminal's life to determine the process that led them to the crime, but her idea is different. The real crime is committed not by the criminals, but by the environment. In other words, maybe only happenstance that robber A committed the crime, and the environment of poverty may have created robber B instead, or perhaps even robber C. A may not even be a criminal in another world. Therefore, the real criminal is not A, but the environment that creates A, B, or C. It's all about society, dude. It's society. Very Joker-coded all of a sudden. It's true, though. I do believe that any environment could create a criminal out of anyone. You know? That's what Saw is all about. That's why I love Saw. Because in the environment of Saw, people do things that they normally would not do. Just because of the environment they are in. You know? It's all Saw mention. Dude, I'm obsessed with Saw. Oh my god. You like Higurashi and Saw? That's crazy. I'm obsessed with Saw. It's freaking great. I'm really disappointed that the new one is getting cancelled, or maybe is not getting cancelled. I have no idea what's going on with the new one anymore. But... And, well, while people in a single world may be able to reach such an idea, the widespread desire to place blame commonly causes A to be lynched by society, while the environment that gave rise to A goes ignored. Did I confuse you? I'm sorry. Perhaps that example is actually harder to understand for you. It's easier for me to see it like that because I'm from the normal world. Well, let me make it simple for you. The culprit behind the tragedy in many worlds isn't individuals like Keiichi Maibara or Shion Sonozaki, but the environment. So Rule X is the true culprit of all. You're earning good marks if you can grasp that, even if we don't know the identity of Rule X. And if you can grasp the 3 rules governing this stage called Hirimizawa, rules X, Y, and Z, then you're earning very good marks. As long as you understand those rules, even if this is your first experienced world, you should easily find the truth without distraction. See? Isn't this fun? Merely 3 simple rules are interacting on this stage, creating a kaleidoscope of different worlds. This is probably a very unusual case. In other locations, you shouldn't be able to see such extreme variations, even after looping through several worlds. It keeps me entertained just staying here and watching these worlds revolve. Anyway, there's one more fact we can understand from these fragments of worlds. This is the biggest problem we Rika Furudes are facing. I love Rika Furudes. Maybe Jigsaw did the curse of a Yashiro. You know? Sure, yeah. Rika army. Yes! Oh my god. That's why I need the multiple Rika, thing. Nipa. Like, you know, it's crazy. But that one would get too annoying if people spammed it. So... The fact that Rika Furude always dies each time. It's as if June 1983 is a dead end for her. Worse, there's no randomness to it. It's guaranteed to happen. In other words, The same pattern as the deaths of Jiro Tomitake and Mio Takano. It's following the same exact rule, Rule Y. Tomitake Jiro and Takano Mio are always murdered on the night of Watsunagashi. Furude Rika's date of death is not always the same, but she's always dead by the middle of June. Jiro Tomitake and Mio Takano are probably attacked on their way home, so that's why it always happens on the same night. But for Rika Furude, it's different. She takes different actions in every world, and her lifestyle is very unpredictable. For that reason, the day of her death is not always the same. However, she always dies in June, because of a similar powerful conviction vows to kill her too. So can we assume that the same Rule Y killing them is also rule behind her death? Is the same person killing all three of them? I don't know if it's the same person, but it's highly likely the same rule is at work. Is it the same person? Or the same organization? Is it the same views? The same goals? Rika's most important goal is to escape her deadly fate. But it doesn't mean that she wants to leave the village and survive. She wants to live happily in the village. All of her friends must also be happy too. That's Rika's happy future. The ideal future she hopes for. It's tragic that we can't realize such a simple desire, no matter how many times we repeat this. Though, it's a tragedy we're only able to perceive because we're beings capable of comparing the fragments from different worlds. By the way, I have some interesting information. While Rika is almost always killed by Rule Y, have you noticed that she's killed by Rule X in some worlds? Rule X. That's the one where that makes people violent. Yeah. When Shion killed her, yeah. Right. It happened in the Watsunagashi and the Miyakashi chapters. Rika Furude committed suicide, but you could say that she was more or less killed by Rule X via Shion Sonozaki in those worlds. In other words, this is a blunder for Rule Y. Rule Y is trying to kill Rika, with a strong desire to achieve some aim. She was killed before that, as a result of the unrelated Rule X. That might have caused them to show some disturbance. Rule Y's objective is to simply bury Rika, then that's not a problem. But if they have some objective beyond that, then it might show up as some other phenomenon. Perhaps the Watsunagashi and Miyakashi chapters have something in common. Oh, definitely. They freaking overlap, basically. What do you mean they have something in common? It's almost the same exact thing happening with different protagonists. Except in Watsunagashi, Rika was tortured to death. And Miyakashi, Rika just killed herself because she was like, I'm not going through that again. Ugh. Something that doesn't happen in the other worlds. Huh. What happens in those two that doesn't happen in the others? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, we're Rika Furude, so we don't know what happens after Rika is dead. Or, by any chance, do you know what happened? We know! We know what happens after Rika dies. We know! Since I'm Rika Furude, I only know the events during Rika's life. You, on the other hand, are a special existence who was born in a superior world. Is there anything that didn't happen in the Watsunagashi and Miyakashi chapters? They're freaking talking to me like it's freaking Dora the Explorer. Is there anything that didn't happen? Figure it out! I don't know! I don't know what didn't happen. Wait, I know, no, I know. Is the death, the big death, the big explosion death that everyone dies. That didn't happen in those, right? Right? That didn't happen? I think I got it? Maybe? Might have happened after. I mean, after us. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'll figure it out eventually. Are they just gonna tell us? I don't know. that happened in all the other worlds after Rika's death. Okay, after Rika died in Watanagashi and Mayakashi, what happened that didn't happen? Oh no, what didn't happen after that? The only thing I can think of is where everyone died. That didn't happen in those 2 chapters exclusively. Because in the first chapter, when Keiichi went crazy, that happened after Keiichi died. And then, in Satoko's chapter, that happened and Keiichi lived. And in Rena's chapter, that happened after Rena. So, it all happened. Right? The big disaster did happen in the first one, right? I'm pretty sure it did. Right? I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff at this point. I don't know. If you know anything, then that must be another truth behind Rule Y. It wasn't shown in the chapter, at least. Yeah, it wasn't shown in the chapter. Because the first time we even heard about it happening was Satoko's. The memories I have here are all mainly about the chaos brought by Rika's friends, that is, Rule X. But its foundation, Rule Z, and the obvious hostility common among all worlds, Rule Y, are what I believe to be the true rules governing this stage. So, then Rika's path is a thorny one. She needs to fight Rule Y in order to survive. Unless she defeats it, she has no future past June 1983. And to win her own happiness, she must also beat Rule X to win her friend's safety. So as long as that's undefeated, one of Rika's precious friends may be led to a tragedy. If that happens, then even should Rika survive, she wouldn't have the happy future she hopes for. She also may have to defeat Rule Z, just as Shio and Sonozaki faced it in Mayakashi. Right, Rule Z is the one where Sonozaki's are behind everything. So long as Rule Z remains, even if she escapes 1983, it's possible another tragedy may lie waiting in 1984. Oh my god. Dude, imagine a sequel game about 1984. Wait, 1984? Extremely likely that Rule Z is the breeding grounds for Rule X. Hinamizawa's fundamental belief that the Sonozaki family is behind everything, and the custom that anything can be misconstrued as the curse may indirectly be the root of all evil here. People are not surprised to see somebody die on the night of Watanagashi. That type of thinking is keeping the curse alive in Hinamizawa, where it causes even more tragedy. It's Rule Z reinforcing itself. Rules X, Y, and Z. There are 3 rules that hunt Rika down in the eternal June of 1983. Okay, I get it now. Rule Z reinforces itself. When the murder happened the first time, people were like, it's the Sonozakis behind it, whatever. The next year comes around, people think, the Sonozakis, they're gonna do it again. They gotta do it again. So some random dude decides to do a murder on that day because they'll get away with it. And then it just reinforces itself again. Oh, it's just the Sonozakis. There's no need to look into it. So it just happens every year because of that. So nothing is actually happening. Like, nothing supernatural, nothing crazy is actually happening. It's just people reinforcing their own beliefs. That's crazy. Nothing ever happens. Yeah. They're all tough obstacles. We didn't even figure out that these 3 common rules until recently. Were you aware of them? I was aware of... Yeah, I actually was. I was aware of them. I think I was. Deep down inside, I was aware of them. I just didn't know they were strict rules. Yeah, like, vaguely. I was vaguely aware of them. Like, I knew Rule X 100%. I knew Rule X. Rule Y. I knew Rule Y. I didn't know Rule Z. I'll say that. I didn't know Rule Z. But I knew X and Y. You were. I'll give you straight A's. Yippee! I get 2 A's and 1 C then. I tried so hard in the past to break these rules, but I was never successful. However, a miracle happened in the Minagoroshi chapter. Keiichi Maebara was able to recognize a small fragment in another world by chance, and he beat Rule X. In the end, Rika was still killed that night by Rule Y, though. But still, one rule was defeated. That was a huge leap forward. Rika knew there were 3 common rules among the worlds, and that she could never break any of them. Eventually, she gave up and lost interest in the worlds. That's how I was born. However, she's different now. She learned something valuable from Keiichi Maebara. The rules can be broken with a strong enough will to fight. If she can break all 3 rules, Rika Furude will be freed from her eternal prison. She doesn't have much time left, though. Rika has traveled through many worlds. Her physical lifespan is not the problem, but her mental lifespan is getting shorter. Mentally, she's extremely old, and her soul is starting to turn to something different. Mentally, she's 1,000 years old. In the end, she'll probably lose the ability to experience singular worlds. She's already showing those signs, and eventually her memories from the parallel worlds will mix together, ultimately causing her derangement and the loss of Rika Furude's soul. Then she will disappear. It means you and I are going to be left in this dark world. Fragments of our memories will gradually disappear, and we will be left alone in the eternal darkness. Eventually, we will die. Rika Furude is aware of that. She knows that her mental lifespan is getting shorter and shorter. Hanyu is also losing her powers. She can't rewind the years of time like she used to. Wait! Who am I? Who's talking then? I'll be honest, I thought Hanyu was talking. Hanyu's the new character that you do not know of. I thought Hanyu was talking here. I don't know who's freaking talking then. Han who? No, that's good. Good job. Her powers decrease so much that she can barely rewind 1 month of time. Actually, she can only rewind a few weeks. In the next world, she should only have about 2 weeks of time. Rika Furude is going to try and break all 3 rules in just those 2 weeks. I wanted to know what's outside the well, so I tried to claw my way up from there. I wanted to know what's outside the well, so I continued to climb even when I fell and injured myself. I finally realized, the higher I climb, the more pain I feel when I fall. And my curiosity toward the world and my physical pain become equal. Oh, frick! I didn't read the last line! Chapter 7, Minagoroshi. Higurashi, when they cry. Something, frog in the well. Oh. The last line seemed so important and I didn't even get to read it. Balkerzak? Do you know what the last line is? Can you look it up so we don't get spoiled? What's going on now? Okay, are we in Hinamizawa now? 2 weeks from, 2 weeks behind Hinamizawa? Or something? Balkazak sounds like a demon lord. It 100% does. It sounds like it's from Yu-Gi-Oh! Wait, just came back from taking care of something, let me check. Okay, cool, thank you. I need to know what the last line of that poem is. I felt no gravity in the darkness, and lost all my senses as a result. I banged my head on the floor with a dull thud. Seeing stars behind my eyelids, I curled into a ball while holding my head in pain. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? Rika! Please say something! I had no idea why I was in this situation, but as soon as I heard their voices from atop the cliff, I realized I must have fallen. I remember. I was playing behind the shrine with the rest of the club members. Got too excited and started doing something very dangerous. and the tree branch broke. So I fell off the cliff. My body started to ache all over. I remembered how I fell. I still felt strange for some reason. I don't remember what I was doing. No. It was more I couldn't remember who Rika Frude was before I fell off the cliff. Oh. I heard Hanyu's panicked voice. I looked behind me and saw Hanyu standing there with a scared look on her face. What the heck? How does Hanyu even exist? What's going on? Gua? Demon! Right, she has horns. I forget that. Hanyu? Ouch. What just happened? Oh, what do I do for her voice? Frick. Can I do something even higher? Oh, you were playing with everyone and fell off the cliff. Are you okay? I don't care about that, Hanyu. What day is it today? What year and what month is it? I always ask this question first when something like this happens. I finally realized that I was asking the same old question. It's June of 1983? The Watanagashi Festival's next week, so... Oh dear. I only have that much time left. This is the best that we can do. Hanyu muttered regretfully. Huh. Okay. It was the middle of June, 1983. This really was the best she could do. I had no choice. I couldn't complain. Yes, I was asking about that poem. I gradually started to remember more things. If this is June of 1983, I see. I was killed again. After Rena surrendered to the police, all of the classmates were given checkups at the clinic. I didn't get hurt, so I was sent back home after they determined I had no injuries. My memory started getting vague from that point on. Common characteristic of my violent deaths. My life is taken away violently. Memory before death becomes vague with static. It's like a violently ripped off roll of toilet paper. That example should make it easy to understand, even if it is uncouth. So I have no clear memory of what happened and how I died that night. I only have vague memories. I think someone covered my mouth with a handkerchief or something, and I passed out. It's the only thing I remember, and only vaguely. I'm not even sure if it really happened. The only thing I know for sure is that I was attacked on my way home, or possibly after I got there, and that I was murdered suddenly. I don't know who killed me, or how I was killed. Oh, let's go! Okay. Poem time. The higher I climb, the more pain I feel when I fall. When my curiosity toward the world and my physical pain become equal, I finally understood the meaning of the frog in the well. The frog in the well. I don't know what that is. I also don't know who that person is. Isn't that person not real? Isn't that person made up? Right? Isn't that another character? I don't know. I don't know. No comment. Okay, so that's... yeah, okay. Saying no comment means like... Frog in the well is a metaphor for not knowing how big the world is. Big fish in a small pond. Aww. That's so cute though. Frog in a little well. Get him out! Get him out! I don't know who killed me or how I was killed. I'm glad I at least don't remember the horrific ending to my life every time it happens. Because of my experiences, I think I now understand why ghosts wander around this world, not knowing that they died so suddenly. With a death from a long-lasting illness, people tend to remember that they were sick. They can kind of assume that they died after being sick for a long time. But when your memory is violently disrupted like mine, it can get quite confusing. When I first experienced this, I wasn't sure if I was dreaming or not. I even thought that I hit my head hard and lost my memory. I needed to organize things before I get too confused. My name is Rika Frude. People look at me in a special way. That's not a big deal for me. All I want is a happy life where I can play around with my best friends. Can't remember how long I've been living just for the sake of obtaining that simple happiness. This panicked girl here is named Hanyu. I'm the only one who can see her. Oh! Oh! Oh, okay. I'm the only one who can see her. Got it. Got it. Okay. My special imaginary friend. Perhaps she only exists inside of my head. At any rate, Hanyu is invisible and can generally only interact with me. It'll be a long story if I try to explain Hanyu's existence, so I won't be doing that right now. Besides, I don't even know how I should talk about her. She's been there since I was born. Her existence is a natural thing for me. I saw everyone running up the gravel road toward me. They're my important and lovable best friends. Our group's active, boisterous, and we get serious about doing stupid things. I'm never bored when I'm around them, and I love them very much. Aw, that's so wholesome.
Oh, Rika-chan, are you okay? Did you sprain your ankle?
Where did you get hurt? Let this old man have a look at it.
Me, thank you so much. I just got a bump on my head.
I think all I got was a bump, at least. My injury wasn't as serious as everyone thought.
When you hit your head, you still need to be cautious, even if you're fine for the moment.
That's true. You should get the coach to check you out, just in case.
That's a good idea. Do you want me to go and get him?
Yeah. We'll go ask somebody to use a phone and call him here.
You don't need to do that.
Oh, right. Rika voice.
You don't need to do that. I'm totally fine. Mipa.
Aww.
I'm totally fine, Mipa. Absolutely not, Rika. You must be cautious.
Satsuko warned me with a stern voice. Really wasn't a big deal, but I decided to nod since Satsuko was trying to be generous. I have a work meeting now for a hot minute. Continue to enjoy this chapter. You're gonna learn a lot. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Have a fun meeting. She wasn't trying to boss me around or anything. She was only saying that because of how much she cares. I've seen it before in many different lives that I've been through. I have no doubt that she's really concerned about me. It's not just Satsuko. Mion, Rena, Keiichi are the same. They're all so nice to me, and they truly do care. Mion left to look for a phone. Rena also left with a towel, looking for tap water. Satsuko remained nearby, taking care of me with a worried face. And Hanyu was just standing there, still wearing a panicked look. Keiichi seemed to be panicked too, but he was trying not to show it. He was standing by me, wearing a calm expression. Are you alright?
I'm fine. It doesn't hurt anywhere.
Glad you're not seriously injured. I was super worried. Wouldn't feel anything special about his words if this was a while ago. But the moment when Rena took over the classroom, when she hurt Mion, Keiichi tried his best to save Rena. Even so, he was more reliable than I ever imagined from his normal behavior. He's usually an insensitive guy who hurts other people's feelings without noticing. That's not his true self. He has a secret side. He's willing to sacrifice himself for other people. I was just observing that not too long ago. I can honestly feel his generosity now. Now that I think about it, Keiichi regained a memory from another world the previous time around. Is it possible that he carries that memory in this world too? If that's the case, I have some hope. Hanyu and I are totally powerless. Hanyu is only like air to everyone but me, and I'm just a little girl. There's only so much we can do ourselves. But Keiichi is different. He changed the fate that I once resigned myself to. He's somebody who may have the power to take me to my unseen future. If I can get Keiichi to understand me, he could be my hero. Perhaps I'm not expecting that much out of him. I just want someone to understand my struggle of being stuck in this maze. Just gonna say it like, Keiichi, I've experienced too many lives. Do you remember anything?
Keiichi.
I spoke to him slowly. It had been a while since I felt so nervous. I hadn't felt this way since I started my endless life in 1983. What? As a witch, I normally would know what his response would be, even- What? As a witch? Witch? What do you mean? What do you mean as a witch? Rika is a witch? Confirmed? Or, like, burn her? What the heck? Witch! I often remain silent because I already know how pitiful a reply would be. But, in that case, why was I so nervous now? Huh? Did you call me, Rika-chan? Hanyu gave me a disappointed look before I responded to Keiichi.
Rika.
I could tell what Hanyu was thinking too. The miracle wasn't going to happen. Miracles do happen. One could have happened many times in my other lives. But I've only seen one miracle before. The miracle that Keiichi gave me was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of miracle. Only if it happened again would it be a true miracle. I won't get out of this world just because I rolled 6 on the die once. I can't get out unless I get a miracle that's equivalent to getting 6 on the die 10 times in a row. And so, I rolled 10 die, wishing that they'd all turned out to be a 6.
Keiichi?
What is it? Are you hurt anywhere? He looked at me worriedly after I called his name twice.
Keiichi, you remember?
I knew how sudden my question was. Oh, this is so sad. Because you know he's not gonna remember. So I thought he would. He looked at me with a confused face. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh. I looked inside his eyes to see his true feelings. He should remember. He should know. Even though he doesn't have the memory, Keiichi experienced it. Yeah, last time he didn't, last time he didn't have the memory, but he felt it, you know?
What is she referring to, Keiichi-san? Did you do something bad to her? You had better speak up. Keiichi, do you remember climbing up on the school roof? The school roof? Keiichi-san, you climbed up there? I'm not asking you, Satoko. Do you remember, Keiichi?
I did? You climbed up on the roof? When? Just stop, Rika. Stop. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You must be mistaken somehow, Rika-chan. I never climbed on the roof, and I don't even know how to get up there. Of course, you haven't experienced it in this world yet. Please tell me that you remember. I know you've never been up on the roof, but you should still remember doing it. You shouldn't be able to remember it, true, but you actually did once. You should be able to remember it once again. Oh, Rika, stop!
Perhaps you went up there to get a ball or something?
Never. Have you been up there, Satoko?
Unthinkable. I would get in such terrible trouble if I did something like that.
But I bet it'd feel real good to take a nap up there.
There's no way he would remember.
Gah. Gah moment.
If miracles could happen that easily, neither of us would be suffering like this.
Shut up. I knew that. I knew that he wouldn't remember.
Our fate is already set in stone. We're like a pitiful cicada that dies after the summer festival.
Shut up.
Shut up. Oh.
I stared at her fiercely. Hanyu realized that she had crossed the line. This might be a waste of time. The maze we're in might not have an exit. It might be an endless loop without a goal in place. You're trapped in this fate. Thought that Keiichi might be able to get me out of here. That Keiichi I saw was truly a miracle. A momentary glimmer. Keiichi of this world doesn't bear that same miracle. All the same, I'm not going to give up. Last time too, I gave up fighting destiny. Realized Rena was beyond salvation. I bid her farewell, and I forsook that world. But Keiichi fought, and broke the cycle of fate. I should have worked harder with that Keiichi in that world. Could have broken this endless cycle together with him. Am I gonna repeat this life, waiting for that miracle to happen again? I can't do that. I don't want to repeat the same life anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this world, my fate, and everything. I'm tired of getting murdered by destiny. Keiichi showed me a miracle. I should be able to do the same too. I must fight. I must fight with all my remaining power. I was always fighting. I was fighting when I had more power. But I never made it. How can I expect to win this time? Still, I must fight. Keiichi taught me that fate can be shattered. I'm going to fight one more time. But there's 2 chapters left. So, you gotta fight 2 more times, actually. Well, now, everyone is up to date on everything I know. So that's cool. That's all I know. Everything that you know, now, I know. So, cool. Now I don't got anything. Tips to buy a granddaughter. I think somebody will remember when, like, in a stressful moment, because that's. Oh no! Copyright music. Copyright music. Anyway, I think somebody will remember in a stressful situation. Because Keiichi only remembered in the pit of it, you know? When Rena took over the school, that's when he remembered. So I feel like... Oh, I think maybe it was a little before when Rena took over the school, but... Yeah, it was... Yeah. I remember now. Yeah. It was when, Keiichi was trying to tell everyone what he did, and he felt terrible about it. It was like the day before everything went down. So I feel like it takes that special circumstance, that special environment, to actually have that happen again. And I think it'll be Keiichi again. I'm not gonna put my cards down on it. No, I will. I'll put money on it. I think. Okay, to my granddaughter. Sorry for leaving you like this. Oh, this is Rena's grandmother. I just need you to understand I'd rather take my own life than be fearful of how many days I have left to live. So I'm writing this letter to you. Can't stand the fear of being unable to leave behind a will while my life is prolonged, even as I lose my consciousness. In the end, there's nothing I can leave behind for you. I was unable to leave any of my achievements to this world. I was forgotten before I was dead. I leave this world a humiliated man, knowing that I had no appreciation from anyone. You must do better than me. You must achieve something that your grandfather was never able to achieve. I don't mind what field you choose. You must leave your mark on this world. You must leave behind your achievements. You will eventually die someday. You will eventually turn to ashes. As a human being, that's your inevitable fate. As a witch, that is your inevitable fate. Because all witches burn. But if you achieve a great success, you will live forever even after you depart. Those who live beyond their deaths are called gods. I wish to become one, but I was unable to do so. So, in my place, you must become a god someday. Become Oyashiro-sama. Interesting. I'm gonna just double check how much time I have. I always get so freaking nervous nowadays of missing work. Because I have so many freaking things on my freaking schedule. But I'm not here to vent about that. I have... Yeah, okay, I have enough time for one more, probably, hopefully. I don't imagine these beginning chapters will be too long. But who knows. Hold on, the achievement I got for completing that part. It's called Breaking the Cycle. And the description is, let's do this one more time. Oh my god. Hey, you, I haven't seen you in a long time. There. You're all done. Irie withdrew the needle from Satoko's arm. From Satoko's arm? What the heck? Must have not hurt much for the needle to be pulled out. Satoko kept her eyes closed in fear, thinking that the needle was still in her arm.
Satoko, you're all done, you know.
What? Oh.
What? Oh, it's finally over.
As Satoko opened her eyes, she found that Irie was no longer singing in front of her. Takano was wiping her arm with rubbing alcohol instead. That's right, you're all done now. Dr. Irie isn't good with needles, unlike me. You didn't even notice he was finished. Don't touch that part of your arm for a while, okay? Also, try not to carry anything heavy.
Of course, I know that by now.
Good for you, Satoko.
I'll pet your head for you. It was nothing. There's nothing I did that would require you to pat my head.
Not long ago, she would go into a panic when it was time for her to get her shot. The way she behaved today in itself was worthy of praise. Everyone in the room smiled, aware of that growth. Please, give her the usual test. Will you, Takano-san? Sure. Alright, Satoko-chan. It's time for the quiz we always do.
Your quiz is always quite difficult for me.
Take it easy. If it's too difficult, you can just tell me that you don't know the answer. You don't have to think too hard. Just tell me whatever comes to mind at the moment. Takano smiled at Satoko to ease her tension. Then she led Satoko to a desk in the back of the examination room.
I hope Satoko gets better soon.
I don't know if it's because of the heat, but Satoko has been showing negative symptoms since last month. Change of the seasons can affect her physically and emotionally. It's not a surprise that this is happening to her.
I'm going to see Irie and ask him how Satoko's doing. What are you going to do, Hanyu? I'm gonna stay with Satoko.
Thank you. I'll leave it to you. Even though she can't see you. Sure. Hanyu went over to where Satoko was. Fortunately, I'm the only one who can see Hanyu. She won't be a distraction if she goes and observes Satoko's test. I, of course, would be a distraction like that. This is supposed to be a routine exam, but it seems like Takano is teasing her by giving her difficult questions. Oh my god. Of course. It'd be pretty funny to observe how Satoko reacts to them. I'm a little jealous that Hanyu gets to watch everything without being a bother to Satoko. Hehe. Irie was talking with two other staff members about Satoko's exam results. He walked up and joined them. Thank goodness. She seems to be improving. What Irie was saying, her results must have turned out well.
Irie, how is she?
Don't worry. The results were good. I'll discuss this more with you two later. After ordering his staff to continue their work, Irie showed me some difficult paperwork and started explaining it to me. I guess we overreacted to the test results from last week. Her condition shifted dramatically because of the change in climate. Did she have a cold by any chance? There was one night, recently, that was fairly hot. Satoko was sleeping without her blanket, and her stomach was exposed. She might have caught a cold that night.
She was sleeping with her belly exposed. I poked her belly button and she didn't wake up at all.
Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Please, oh my god. Freaking disgusting. Oh, shut up.
It's so soft. Her belly is chunky too. It was so cute that I didn't want to cover it with a blanket.
Ah ha ha ha. That's why she caught a cold, huh?
Rika, I can hear you. You had better put a blanket on me next time. You're in the middle of a quiz, Satoko-chan. You need to concentrate.
Irie, Hanyu, and I all laughed. Ha 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 ha. Satoko went back to her test with a bitter look on her face. Irie began speaking to me in a softer voice. She's in remission, but her level is still L3 negative. What the frick does that mean? L3? Level 3? Negative? I don't know. She was and will continue to be in a critical condition.
She's never ever going to get better?
Just like with anaphylaxis, her body will be conditioned to react severely even after the foreign chemical is out of her system. In other words,
she'll never move below the level 3 stage?
Yes, that's right. But it's not the end of the world. She can control it by maintaining a proper lifestyle, as well as taking some medication.
But it'll never be cured in her whole lifetime?
I looked at Satoko as she enjoyed taking her test. She seemed to be having fun, even while being teased by Takano. Can't believe she's suffering from an incurable disease. What freaking disease? If you think of it in a negative way, you're right. Many people in this world are coping with incurable illnesses. Diabetes is a good example. The condition itself can never be cured, but the symptoms can be controlled. I know that very well. There are many worse diseases in the world. Satoko might be a relatively good situation compared to many other sick people. That's crazy. She gets sick when the climate changes? Relatable as heck. I don't think that's is that a disease? Do I have a freaking disease? Am I gonna find this out from Higurashi? What the heck? Of course, I'm not giving up on her. I'll make sure I'll cure her disease someday. I promise. Usually Higurashi is so good with, like, realism in terms of, like, actual things that have happened and disease and stuff like that, but they're not naming this for some reason.
I trust you.
Yes, trust me. Irie spoke to me with a serious look on his face. Satoko's best friend felt relieved to hear his words. Sure, he'll do his best to save Satoko's life. I have no doubt that he'll do so. I've seen him act like this in every life I've lived. I also know why he's so passionate to save her, but I'm not supposed to know about it in this life. What? Is there a reason? So I always pretend not to see his sad smile. By the way, Rika-san, we'll be conducting another big test at the end of the month. Am I going to be the guinea pig this... Oh, wait.
Am I gonna be the guinea pig this time?
It's not like that. You're only helping our studies, which will save many people's lives. PDA's guinea pig is not just Satoko. I'm also one of them. Although guinea pig is probably not the right term. Without EDA's efforts, Satoko would not be here today. For that reason, I should be showing respect to this man. I smiled at him, since my choice of words had hurt his feelings.
If testing me can save Satoko's life, I don't mind being a guinea pig.
Thank you for your support. I wouldn't be causing you so much trouble if I had more money and equipment. The next moment, the phone rang. Irie answered it in his usual business-like tone. Hello, this is Irie.
You have a call on the line from Tokyo? I'll transfer it to the other phone.
I could hear the voice from the phone. That must be Risa-san then. Is it that time of the year already? I'm going to pick it up at the office. Will you transfer it here? Or there?
Wowie, from the big city.
Risa-san? I don't remember if we know that lady or not.
Absolutely. Please hang up on this line in that case.
Okay. Sorry, Rika-san. I got a call from Tokyo.
Don't mind me.
As soon as Irie hung up the phone in the other room started ringing. I left the examination room and headed towards the office. Annie returned to my side as soon as Irie left. Annie doesn't like to be around me when I'm talking with Irie. Huh? I don't think she dislikes him. It's just that she doesn't really want to hear what he has to say. That's interesting. Idiot doesn't mean any harm. Hanyu is often hurt by the things that come out of his mouth. Okay.
How's Satoko doing?
Wait,
How's Satoko doing? She's not good at spot the difference like usual. I was able to find more differences than her. I don't care how well you did. What about Satoko? Oh.
I thought she was there to check on Satoko. She was taking the quiz alongside her instead. Oh my god. That's so typical of Hanyu. She was treating it almost like a game. Satoko was tired after taking the quiz every week. She seemed sleepy, especially after waking up so early this morning. The quiz in this case wasn't about a right or wrong answer. It was about timing in minutes, how long it took her to answer the question, and observing how she acted during the quiz. Not all of the questions would be simple ones, so Satoko often got headaches, more so even more so than the spelling tests we'd take at school.
Is it almost over? Yes, it is. The book Takano has right now is the last one.
Oh, so green. Takano was showing a book to Satoko with abstract pictures inside. I couldn't even tell if that was supposed to be a picture. Just a spherical ink stain. Oh boy. What do you see, Satoko?
I see my uncle forcing me to go in the bath for 10 days and me dying a slow death.
Oh, that's nice, Satoko.
This is the last one. What do you think it is?
Both Hanyu and I looked at the picture over Satoko's shoulders. Shoulders. Yeah. Even I didn't know what to answer when looking at the strange ink stain. Satoko continued to think. Takano observed her, taking notes while Satoko struggled. She was also timing how long it took her to answer, holding a stopwatch under the table. I spoke to Hanyu so only she can hear me.
What do you think it looks like?
Hanyu?
It's soft serve ice cream. It fell onto the ground and ended up like this. Oh, it's been wasted.
She sounds so much like Rena. With the oh.
I see. This was a good test for understanding a person's mind.
Me, it looked like a horse mackerel that had been cut open and its guts spilled out. Okay, of course. Of course it looked like that to Rika. She's been freaking traumatized. I was thinking of food too. It's rather shocking to learn that my thought processes are the same as Hanyu's.
What does it look like to you? You don't have to think too hard.
Satoko must not be very good at this test. She always takes a long time to answer questions like this. She finally opened her mouth to speak.
It's like 2 butterflies are on top of each other.
2 butterflies on top of each other? Tell me more about it. Why are they on top of each other? Takano continued to take notes as Satoko spoke. Curious about what she was writing, I looked, but... Is that German? What? I can't read it at all. Takano was so mean.
They were apart for quite some time, but having finally reunited, they were excited to see each other again. I apologize. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
No, you're doing just fine. You can tell me whatever's on your mind. That's the whole point of this test.
Are you certain that even such a strange answer is serving a purpose?
Of course. For example, take this picture. You gave me a totally different answer last year. I can tell how you've changed just by comparing how you respond.
Really? I don't like this test. What did I even say last year?
Takano smiled and took a note without answering her question. Tried to remember what her answer was, but I have more than 100 years worth of memories in my head. Hanyu might remember better than I do. As I looked at Hanyu, I realized she was standing there with a sad expression. She knows? I decided not to ask her. I could tell just by looking. I could tell what kind of answer Satoko gave back then just by looking at Hanyu's face. Last year is when Satoshi left. June 1982. That was when Satoko was being abused by her cruel aunt. Calling that, I didn't even want to know what Satoko answered. Just a year later, Satoko, who was so worn down that she could no longer be seen, she became so strong. Now how difficult it was for her to stay tough and strong like this. Her growth over the past year is overwhelming to me. Are you done with the test? Idia returned from his office.
Yep, we're finished.
Satoko-chan is handling a lot better now. You were done pretty quick today.
Ho ho ho. Oh, Merry Christmas! I did try my best to ensure it was done with quickly. I have plans after this, so I can't stay here too long.
You have something after this? Today is Sunday, right?
We're doing a club activity at Mi's uncle's toy store.
No wonder you were so obedient with the test today. It was because you have plans. Sorry we held you so long. Well, here's your stuff, Satoko-chan. Idia put a big paper bag on the table. He opened it up and gave her instructions about the medications. Satoko had heard the same instructions over and over before, but Idia still continued to talk just the same. Since you're doing better, you can go back to 2 shots per day. 2 shots? She has to have shots? Please give yourself a shot before lunch and before you go to bed. Make sure you change the needle every time. Don't ever use the same one twice. Prescribing this one just in case you really need it when you're feeling sick. Does she have like an autoimmune disorder or something? Feels like she should have an IV line rather than taking shots all the time.
Yeah, same as usual, I know.
Satoko couldn't wait to meet our friends for the club activity. Made me feel happy to see her excited as this.
She only has to take 2 shots per day now. I'm glad.
The number of shots she has to take each day represents how well she's doing. So it's a good thing that she has to take fewer shots.
It's tough for her to give herself a shot 2 times a day. Oh.
And he grew quiet after hearing my comment. Idia handed her the paper bag after he finished his instructions.
Rika, at last it's over.
Good job. You seem anxious during the test today. Have fun with your friends.
I'm sorry I was so tense. You have my thanks for all that you've done for me.
Are you going to make it on time? I can give you a ride there. Oh, I also bought a new stuffed animal. It's in my car. You can give it a name if you'd like. That sounds so creepy. Hey, do you want to ride? I have a new stuffed animal.
Oh my, what sort of creature could it be? I wonder what I should name it. Well, what is it exactly?
It's a cat again. One with tiger stripes this time. I think you'll like it a lot. Satoko. Satoko and Takano are good friends. They're both fond of stuffed animals. Every time Takano gets a new one, she brags about it to Satoko. That's all they have in common, but having a friend like Takano is a special thing for Satoko. She's a part of the Hojo family who tried to betray the village. People at the clinic are the only adults who even talk to Satoko. Yikes. Have fun at the club. You should suggest wearing maid uniforms as a punishment game. I have every kind of size. Oh my god. Shut up. Either way, I'll see you next week.
No, thank you. See you next week.
Well, let's be going.
Our battle today is not against the club members. I'm itching to put my skills to the test.
Curse of Ayashiro, get this man. That's so true. I bowed slightly and made to leave the examination room. But I soon realized something. Idia was looking at me with a sad expression on his face. Just with that look, I could tell what he wanted to say. Please take care of Satoko-chan if something happens to her. I nodded at him and stepped out into the hallway with Satoko.
My goodness. I'm used to these tests and quizzes, but they always leave me exhausted. You don't like taking the tests? Well, I don't, but they are my job. There's nothing I can do about that.
Satoko was supporting Idia's research. She gets financial support, by helping him out. Or at least, that's what Satoko thinks she's doing. What? Huh? What? Huh? Okay. Alright. Satoko is bursting with enthusiasm, so we head to Okonomiya full speed. They're telling her it's for research when it's really for her to see. I see, okay. We wound up waiting for Keiichi and the other club members for a long time. Got here early, but they were late. I think they were late last time we did this too. Did it mean that this was something that was meant to happen? It's unpleasant that I can't even change the most minor of fates. Oh, no. Finally saw them coming toward us on their bikes.
Hello, everyone. How utterly slow all of you are.
Satoko acted like she was upset. I could tell that she was pleased to see them just the same.
Oh, Satoko is so cute. That's why I'll never tire of her. She's adorable.
Satoko's behavior soothes my feelings of frustration. That's why I love Satoko. If she was a small fluffy animal, I could definitely keep her in a cage. Oh my god.
Good morning, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rika-chan. Satoko, think fast. We've got to do this quick before the cops get here. Our goal is 1 billion yen.
Huh? Keiji-san, what in the world are you talking about? Are we late? When did you guys get here?
It didn't take too long. Wait, I keep forgetting that, like, our voice isn't normal voice anymore.
It didn't take too long, so we've been waiting here a while.
Mion and Rena know that Satoko gets a checkup every Sunday at the clinic. Sorry about that. Kei-chan didn't show up on time, so that's why we're late. Had Keiichi, so he's the reason they're always late.
That's not really surprising. Nipa.
I always do Rika's voice in a different freaking pitch every single time. I don't know how to keep it the same.
That's not really surprising. Nipa.
Yeah, there we go. Wait a minute. Am I the bad guy here?
Of course. Of all the club members, you're the only one who can play the villain. Oh ho ho.
What's that supposed to mean? You better watch your mouth. Keiichi and Satoko messed around with each other. So silly. I love my silly little friends. Satoko acted like she was crying and Rena punched Keiichi, knocking him out cold. It was the same old situation they always got into. I can watch this sort of thing forever. It's like having a glass of cold milk after taking a hot bath.
Huh?
Oh, I can never win against her. You should get up and move before she cracks your front teeth. We all laughed at him and finished greeting each other.
You're living as always. Nothing's more precious than one's health. You're sounding like an old lady, Rika. Shut up. Who cares what you think? I'm not going to eat any sweets if you keep on saying things like that. Oh.
I'm not going to eat any sweets. So they share the same body? I guess? And she can just, like, astral project her consciousness into a separate form? I guess? Hanyu seemed to be getting more depressed than usual. I should stop teasing her so much.
It was a joke. Will you get off me?
Oh wait. Will you get off me? What is she doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
Hanyu loves sweet treats. She especially loves cake and ice cream. And she can't eat anything, she has to depend on me when it comes to that. In other words, whatever I eat, Hanyu can taste too. Even if Hanyu craves something, doesn't mean that I don't. It doesn't mean anything if I don't eat. In other words, I have total control of what she eats. That's why it's fun to tease her with saying what I'll eat and what I won't. It's almost as fun as teasing Satoko.
Oh, you seem to be in a good mood today, Rika-chan. I want to take you home.
Oh, I haven't heard that in like 10 years. Oh, you'll be arrested if you do that, you know. Hey, Mion. The store owner is calling you.
Rika, did you hear? There's going to be a prize for the club activity today.
I remember. Mion was going to be paying 50,000 yen out of her pocket as a prize. Couldn't believe she could just afford that. Therefore, I have to assume she has some kind of guarantee that she won't lose.
And you know what it is? It's 50,000 yen. 50,000 yen!
Satoko stared at me. Oh no. She was expecting me to be surprised to hear that the prize was 50,000 yen. It's natural to be surprised after hearing that sum. I didn't react because I already knew it. Perhaps I gave the impression that I've known it for a long time.
Keiichi-san, isn't it amazing that the prize is 50,000 yen?
50,000 yen? What the heck is that? That's like 5 years worth of Keiichi GNP. Keiichi GNP? Is that supposed to be a stock? Did he turn himself into a stock? Satoko said the same thing to Keiichi. Probably assumed I wasn't listening to her. So she decided to talk to Keiichi instead. Gross national product, okay. Okay, so is this something that had happened before and she's like, oh no, she knows how it's going to end?
Oh, that was just a small mistake. I'm fine.
Okay. I see, so she can't let her true self, like, show through.
If I get 50,000 yen, I can get a lifetime supply of soy sauce. Wait, why ever would you buy soy sauce with a price like that? Because a certain someone always gives me a dirty look when I ask her to go and get soy sauce from the store. Rika. You're so mean, Rika.
How much soy sauce do you think you can even get for 50,000 yen? Man, I want to see. Keiichi joined the conversation, which finally brought us back to our normal pace. It must be so boring to her, though, to have to go through the same back and forth, you know? I don't know if anyone's played Steins Gate, but it's a lot like Steins Gate. But I think Steins Gate goes into the back and forth like that, but I feel like Steins Gate doesn't play the long game in psychological terror, you know? Steins Gate's less about the terror of it and more of the sci-fi part of it, but I feel like this does that better than Steins Gate does. In order to pursue a greater happiness, I need to sacrifice a smaller one. In the perfect world, Rika Furude was supposed to be surprised to hear from her best friend that the prize was 50,000 yen. But I already knew that. I knew it from my previous lives. All I could do was give her a boring reaction. Can't be surprised at the big prize of 50,000 yen. Can't give her the reaction that she expects from me. I'm losing the ability to be surprised by life. And after that continual repetition of small incidents like this, there will be nothing left that I can find interesting. See? Now that's freaking sad. And I feel like too many freaking adults let this happen to them. Me, already being an adult, I will refuse to let this happen to me. I will refuse to be jaded by not finding things interesting in life anymore. Because, like, people say that... What is it? I don't know what the correct term is. They say I am easily impressed, easily excitable, whatever the heck, right? That's because I refuse to be freaking jaded. If I see something cool and interesting, I'm going to find it cool and interesting. Who cares if I've seen it before, if I've experienced it before? It's freaking fun, and I'm not gonna let that ruin my enjoyment. You know? You get what I mean? If I see a freaking bubble wrap, I'm gonna be happy and excited about it, and I'm gonna show it. You know? Only true people who freaking, are able to be their true self, and able to express their true happiness for those types of freaking minimal things. You know? It's so stupid, but it's like, it's so real. It is so sad that so many people are affected by this jadedness, you know, of not being able to enjoy things anymore like they used to. Because that childhood-like, the childlike enjoyment of life is what gets lost by this jadedness. And I feel like people need to get back at that, you know? They need to recapture this. Because a lot of the enjoyment of life is these small, little, interesting things that you find every day. Like, whoa, it's so cool that these numbers line up in a specific way. Oh, it's so cool that this orange on the wall is very orange today. You know? Like, it's so stupid, but it's all these little small things that you just notice and take appreciation of. And it's different every freaking day. And people, oh my god, when I express these things to people, they freaking act like I'm stupid. they freaking act like it's weird. Like it's so sad to me that people can't appreciate these kinds of things. You know? Like the sky or the moon is a big one for me. I try to look and appreciate it every freaking day. I look up at the sky and I'm like, wow, the sky is very sky today. I love that. Because the sky is never the same thing twice. Ever. Ever. So the sky will always change. And you'll never see the same sky ever again. And it's just important, I think, to appreciate these things. Anyway, no more freaking blabbing. No more blabbing, you get the point. Relatable. Also me screaming, let's freaking go after every successful gacha pull unironically. See? That's what I'm freaking talking about. Do that. Please continue to do that and never stop doing that. I mean, you can stop gambling if you want, but never stop, like, expressing your enjoyment. you know what I mean. I'll have nothing to be surprised about. I'll never be impressed with anything. Eventually, I'll lose my emotions entirely. So I'm always trying to be careful. I make sure I act like the Rika Furude who doesn't know anything. Even though I may not be impressed, as a young girl, Rika Furude should be impressed with many things. Rika Furude is supposed to act excited when she encounters something for the first time. I try to, at least. The more and more I try, the more I feel like Rika Furude is someone very distant.
Rika, I'm sorry. I know I'm only wasting my lifespan by feeling depressed like this. I should enjoy my life.
I don't mean my lifespan literally. I'm not referring to my physical lifespan, but my mental one. The more and more I repeat the same days, the more I lose. From wonder to passion, and everything in my life become like an overplayed videotape. If I'm tired of that tape, I have no choice but to close my eyes and sleep. By the time I wake up, the video should be over. In reality, my life is not a beat-up old videotape. If I close my eyes and sleep, that would be my death. When my mental lifespan is over, Rika Furude will turn into a doll, can't even move a finger by her own will. When that happens, my pursuit of happiness will be over. I don't want that to happen. For at least 100 years, if not more. I've been stuck in this living hell for so long. I don't want my life to end here.
Sorry, I'm fine now. You must find it funny that I'm complaining only about a century. Oh, I've grown used to this fate by now. Huh? Alright. I'm fine. I'm Rika Furude. I'm Rika Furude.
Aww. If I don't stay focused on being Rika Furude, I'm afraid I might end up showing my true self inside of that shell. Rika Furude is supposed to be a cute and innocent little girl after all. I'm normal. I'm normal. Oh my god.
Meep. What would you like to buy if you got 50,000 yen, Rena? I wonder if I could buy that Kenta-kun doll. Do you think they'll sell it to me if I give 50,000 yen to the fried chicken store? Oh.
Oh my god. The KFC?
I think it'd be easier for you to buy the tools and wheelbarrow to steal the doll. I bet Rena-san could break the chain with her bare hands if she wanted to.
I agree on that one.
Oh, you're all so mean.
Thus we rejoin the typical flow of conversation naturally. Once I enter that flow, it's not hard for me to continue as Rika Furude. Being Rika Furude is like flying a kite for me. Once it's up in the air, it can stay in the sky for a while. If something happens and it loses control, it's one heck of a challenge to get it back on track. Every time it tries to get back in the air, the kite gets dragged on the ground and wears out. I'm exactly like that. Finally, Mion started clapping her hands to get everyone's attention. I already knew the rules. Members will be broken into 5 different groups, and each group plays a game that they chose together. I was secretly hoping that Mion would change the rules for some reason. Nothing more boring than to already know what's going to happen. Mion can be very capricious. She really might change the rules.
Yeah, but it seems like she's been planning this game for several days already. Strong will can be a fated one too, huh?
Normally when we're doing club activities, Mion decides what we're going to play at the last minute. She opens her locker and randomly decides what game to play. For that reason, our club activities are rarely repeated throughout my lives. So I'm never bored with them. Just as Hanyu said, today's event was something Mion had been planning for a while. I was certain she wouldn't suggest anything spontaneously today. In that case, this won't be up to random chance. Mion had only one idea in her mind. Therefore, it was equivalent to destiny. Although her idea of having this event in the toy store is actually a spontaneous one, all the lives I've repeated, there's a very low chance for this event to occur.
You shouldn't expect anything to be different. I'm not expecting it.
Of course, I was lying just now. I was hoping that Mion would suggest a new rule for this game. If it was the same rules again, I'd be suffering for a few minutes while I listened to her instructions. Nothing is more frustrating than walking the same path over and over again. Please, Mion, please change my fate. Please. Bro has to play the same cutscene 1,000 times before getting to the boss battle. I can understand. First, we're going to be divided into 5 different groups. The winner from each table. It was the same rules after all.
Sorry, I was holding on to a small hope. Small hopes will hurt you, Rika.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Small hopes will hurt you, Rika. You're right. You've told me so many times, but I never learn.
Neo has taught me so many times. She taught me the trick to swimming in the flow of destiny. Flow's destiny is just like a river's. By going with the flow, I can swim in the direction I want to for some extent. But of course, trying to swim against the flow requires great effort. Allowing myself to drift causes the least amount of strain. Of course, some strong currents are impossible to resist, even with great effort. If I recklessly try to resist without realizing it's impossible, I'll only wear myself out needlessly, just as if fighting a river's current. So Hanyu taught me to read those currents, which is why I should have easily imagined what the rules would be at the same moment I learned Mion had planned today's event in advance. Yet I wish the rules would be different, completely wasteful action. In the end, my hopes were betrayed, only leaving my heart worn out. And things like that caused me to separate further from Rika Furude. Eventually, I'll grow tired of everything, and lose all interest, and die.
A fate which can't be fought must be accepted. I know you can read the flow of destiny, Rika. You're right. My lifespan's already growing short. I should treasure what I have left.
I sighed and pretended as though I was listening to what Mion was explaining. Such quitter top. Opposite of Keiji, true. What's wrong, Rika-chan? Are you bored? Keiji surprised me all of a sudden.
Are you talking to me?
This had never happened before. I thought he was talking to someone else. But it seemed like Keiichi really was talking to me. Yeah. You've looked bored ever since this morning. Are you sleepy from waking up too early?
I was just thinking that I've already done this before.
No one will understand what I mean anyway. Except Keiichi, maybe. But Keiichi might. And so I told him how I honestly felt. Huh? Are you serious? No wonder Mion seems so used to this. Looking forward to it since it's my first time, though. I envied him for feeling that way. I sighed, knowing that I never will. I understand how frustrating it is to hear the same instructions over and over again. Oh my god, Keiichi. Yeah, I get it. I've lived the same lives 100,000 times. I completely understand. I went to cram school once and studied ahead a lot there. I remember how much I hated hearing the same lectures in school. Keiichi didn't understand me. But I'm glad that he at least understood how frustrating it was to repeat the same situation.
I'm the same. I'm frustrated at school too.
What? Are you really? You always seem so happy. Rika Furude is supposed to be happy at school. That's why I act that way.
Hearing the same things over and over again is like torture. It's easy for me to change what Satoko cooks for dinner. I can simply volunteer to cook instead of her. But I can't change what the teacher teaches at school every day. Oh god. Oh god. Imagine hearing the same lectures 100 times. 100+ times. I would freaking die. Oh my god. She'd be a really good tutor though. Because like she knows everything. I have no choice but to be quiet and listen to her lecture. Yeah, there's nothing you can really do. You can't just tell the teacher to move on because you already know what she's teaching you. But this is a different story. It's a game. It is a game, but it's already predetermined.
You don't know that. After all, we're being split into 5 tables by drawing lots, right? Plus, each group gets to choose what game their table plays. There's no way to predict what games we'll do battle over, or what exciting turnabouts await us today.
But I can make a good guess.
No, you can't. Keiichi smiled as he contradicted me. The smile seemed so ignorant to me.
While the groups will be decided by drawing lots, each club member will be in a different group. Keiichi, you'll be sitting over there. My table will be right here. I'll be playing a fishing game. You'll be playing a game called Billionaire.
I don't know how, but last time we were broken into 5 separate groups. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Sure, Mion did something to ensure it would end up like that. I'm 100% sure. For the games we'd play, I'm not totally sure, but if each member in the group follows the same thinking patterns, they'll probably end up making the same choices. If you roll dice many times, you begin to approach the average. One person's spontaneous act can be random, but multiple people's thoughts can be averaged out, for the most part. The more people that are involved, the more difficult it is to alter that path of fate. So I'm pretty sure we'll end up playing the same games. Keiichi seems surprised to hear my prediction. What the hell? Is that like a premonition? How can you be so sure?
That's what fate is all about.
Fate, huh? Makes me want to smash that fate into pieces. Oh, Keiichi, I love Keiichi, I love Keiichi! Oh my gosh, Keiichi. That's awesome. So proud. He smiled at me again. I knew that he was just smiling without reason, but I felt a small hope from him. After all, Keiichi really did shatter fate before. That was just a miracle that happened in my previous life. I didn't expect him to do the same thing in this one. Otherwise, I would be worn out by my high expectations again. Alright, we're going to decide our groups by drawing lots from this box. See, drawing lots. There's no way she can rig this. It's random, so it has to be, like, right? The club members go first. Mion drew first, and Satoko followed. The results were the same as last time. I really don't want to fight against a club member at the very start. Sorry if we get the same group, Rika-chan.
Don't worry. Your table is over there. Mine is right there.
Whatever you say, you watch. Ugh. Keiichi looked upset.
See? My predictions are always right.
It was a 20% chance. Anyone can make a random guess. Keiichi told me that it was just a coincidence.
Then what if I predicted my seat right too? Was the percentage for that?
It's 20 of 20, so 4%? I'll believe you if you get it right with a percent that low. Keiichi grinned at me, believing such a chance was impossible. It's your turn now, Rika-chan. Mion handed me the box of slips. No matter what I did, I'd be getting that table. There's a reason behind it. Mion was doing something to make sure we'd all get different tables. Thought about why Mion would do that. In the information I've gathered about Mion over the many years, I could see her reasoning. Which means you can change the fate if you just don't roll with it. This is something that is not inevitable, you can change it.
She probably thinks that she'll feel bad if a member loses in the first stage. You're right. If the club members are in the same group, everyone will have to lose.
If everyone was in a different group, we'd all have a chance to move on to the second stage. That's why she was controlling the straw. Put my hand inside of the box. I could feel several folded pieces of paper inside it. But if you thought for a moment, it was odd. No matter which one I chose, I'd never get any other table. Because they were all the same. Because it's rigged.
Wonder how she's making it so you sit at that last table. Me too. Only Mion knows. All I know is that no matter what I choose, I'll be sitting at that last table.
Ah, I got it.
All the papers in this box are the same? That must be. I bet Mion set some kind of trap on this box.
Probably a box for a magic show or something. There'll be some kind of gimmick inside the box. She can switch what's inside of it. Depending on who's drawing the paper, she'd change out the lots and control the result. I didn't know exactly how, but I was sure she was doing something. I didn't even need to know how she was doing it. The most important thing was why.
Meep. I don't know which one to pick.
No matter which one you pick, your fate is already decided. She was just admitting it herself. I was certain then. Based on what I felt inside, there were less than 10 pieces of paper inside this box. In other words, there were hidden pieces of paper that I couldn't touch somewhere inside the box. I smiled at Mion as I figured out her trick. She has no clue why I was smiling.
I'm taking this one.
Sure, let me see. Aha! Wow, the club members are all divided into separate groups. Mion behaved as though this was news to her. She's such an actress. The other contestants made a dissatisfied noise. They'd have to face a club member, no matter which table they got. Keiichi was surprised too, not only because we were divided.
See? Our fate is already decided.
I smiled at him in return. Keiichi was in denial for a moment, then he smiled back at me. Possibility was 1 in 25. I'm impressed. It was not. I predicted that Mion and Satoko would be at a different table, so the possibility was even lower than that. Keiichi understood that, but normal people like him can't understand that meaning of fate. So I put it off as coincidence. Keiichi, what if my prediction is right about the game you'll be playing? Possibility will be 1 in billions. There are lots of games in this store. What if that prediction is right too? Will he still believe it's just a coincidence? No. He'll change it himself. He knows. Like, she told him what game he'll be playing, so he'll pick a different one. You know? On purpose. So, like, he's gonna prove himself that he can change, quote-unquote, fate. I stayed quiet in my seat and waited to see what game my group was going to decide on. They're going to choose the fishing game. Can't expect them to choose anything other than that.
I can't have high expectations, otherwise I'll be hurt again.
Oh wait, no, that's Rika saying that, right?
I can't have high expectations, otherwise I'll be hurt again.
One of the boys stood up, walked toward the shelf full of games, picked up one box, lifted the box above his head, and turned around so he could show it to us. Closed my eyes as he did so. I could still hear what he was saying. Check this out. You guys remember this? We should play this one. Yeah, it's the one with the spinning fish, right? I could taste the bitter chemicals from my brain in my mouth. Clenched my lips and tried to endure the numbing feeling.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not doing well today. For some reason, I can't just accept this flow.
It wasn't because I wasn't feeling well, of course. It's because of my emotions. Powers are getting weaker. We can only rewind about 2 weeks of our lives. I was feeling that this was near the end, that the end was near for us. In order for me to change my tragic fate, I need more time to prepare. But I can only go back 2 weeks. It means my power to resist my fate is significantly weakened. Even if I become weak as a small leaf in the river, I should be able to do something in order to change my path. But if I can only go back to a point where I'm getting ready to be swallowed into the whirlpool, there's no chance for me to escape it. I lived for so long, believing that I could eventually escape my fate, survive. I believe that I had the chance in every moment of every life I've lived. There are limits to those chances. There's so many limits in my repeated lives. And perhaps this might be my last chance. That may be why I'm feeling so restless.
Stop it, Rika. The harder you think about it, the worse it'll be on your mind. I know. Just be quiet already. Oh.
My brain was numb, as if surrounded by a gray mist. I was inside the crowded toy store, but felt very far away from everyone else. The tighter I closed my eyes, the harder I clenched my teeth, the emptier my head became. No, no, no.
Rika, are you okay?
I tried to focus, I became conscious again. Anya looked at me with concern. I tend to lose my mind easily right after coming back from death. Usually I have more time to relax and get used to my new life, but I have no time for that now. Watagashi Festival is only 2 weeks away. I can't just relax and wait for myself to get used to things. Don't be a wimp, Rika. Don't be a wimp. Fight against fate. Even if I do, that fate always betrays me, and I grieve. What if I did the opposite? What if I didn't fight against fate? A few weeks after the Watagashi Festival of 1983, I will die, as I am fated to do so. Fight. Don't fight. 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 To repeat the same words, they started to lose all meaning. Felt like I was chanting something. Bit my tongue in my mind and forced myself to stop thinking about it. I was calming down a little bit. When I opened my eyes, saw the fishing game right in front of me, as well as my pole. Someone placed it there while I had my eyes closed. It's as if I was seeing the immovable reality of fate right in front of me. Nah, if I was Rika, I'd just go crazy. Has there not been timelines where she's completely lost it? Because if she knows, if she knows she's gonna repeat it anyway, why not just try everything in your power to do it? Just freaking slam the table, get up, and walk outside. What will happen? We don't know. Just pick another game, idiot. Exactly. Say, I have trauma with this fishing game. Let's choose another game, please. I'm not to say anything, but I feel like she's not trying hard enough, so... Felt like a final verdict to me. What do you think, Keiichi? Is this what fate is all about? Do I want to earn his agreement, or his sympathy? I stood up and walked towards Keiichi's table. Here we go! The problem is that if she fucks up this timeline and it keeps going, suddenly she's in a fucked up timeline. But she's escaping the freaking time loop. But, look. If she goes crazy and does crazy stuff, the only thing that she needs to have happen is her living a happy life in this world with her friends. Nothing else matters. As long as she doesn't go crazy with that one aspect, and she goes crazy with literally anything else, everything's fine. His group couldn't decide on a game, so the store owner was deciding for them, which is what happened last time. Just like the last, yeah. Store owner will pick the game of life. It's kind of unfair to play a game that your opponent chooses. We couldn't decide on anything because we kept refusing each other's suggestions. So your table decided on what to play?
You can see it for yourself.
I looked at my table and saw the fishing game there. Keiichi was surprised to see that my prediction was right again. I also remembered that I predicted his game too. You're saying the owner is going to bring out the game of life, just as you predicted?
I'm pretty good at predicting things. Nipa.
Are you serious? Alright, I'll believe you if he really brings us the game of life.
You bet. Your group is going to play the game of life.
Fine, I'm willing to bet you. Don't you cheat and talk him into it.
He wants you to play a game that he has a lot of, so he'll be bringing out that one.
Remember, it was covered by dust when he gave it to him the last time. Since we had to buy the game if we lost, he was trying to sell products he had a surplus of. Oh. Therefore, he won't be choosing any game at random. We're looking for the one with bad sales. The strong will to do so. That will of his is going to make the pull of fate all the stronger. In that sense, there's no guarantee that he'd be choosing the game of life specifically. He might choose something else that's also overstocked. The owner finally reappeared with a box covered in dust. Whoa!
See, I told you so.
He has a game of life box in his hands. Part of me that hoped it wouldn't be the game of life tasted bitterness at the betrayal. Nice. The cynical part of me expected it to happen and found it amusing in a way. What if the game of life was called the game of death and you died if you lost? Well, that's just Sword Art Online, isn't it? What is the meme? What is the really old meme? Oh, what is the meme? I can't even remember. It's so sad. I haven't seen it. Like, if you die, if you die in the game, you die in real life. Thank you. That's what it is. The most funniest phrase ever. People die when they are killed? No. You die in the game, you die in real life. Felt like my personality was twisting more and more. Why did you pick that game? Huh? Oh wait, well, I just picked it at random. I found it in the pile of inventory I have in the back. It's not like I brought the most beat up one. When he heard the owner chose the game randomly, Keiichi shrugged his shoulders in confusion. This be his way of surrendering. Hey, Rika-chan, is this really a prediction?
Nipa.
Well, some old people from the village told me that you're a reincarnation of a Yashiro-sama, and then they told me you have special powers. Said your predictions are always accurate. Is that really true? I was surprised that Keiichi actually believed the superstitious stories he heard from the elderly villagers.
I just know which is destined to happen. To make it clearer, it's because I've already witnessed this world once before.
Damn. I can't even make fun of you. Keiichi, like, oh, that sucks. Keiichi seemed like he was just fooling around. Probably only thinks I'm goofing around and acting haughty because my random predictions all came true. I had hope for him. Thought the owner might bring a different game because Keiichi once had the power to change fate. But that didn't happen. Well, because he's learning! He's learning! If you just teach him how to, he can do it! I'm not surprised. I feel betrayed once again. Huh? Hurts. I won the bet. Oh wait.
I won the bet.
Speak to Keiichi sarcastically. Wanted him to understand that no one can change the path of fate. However, Keiichi did nothing but smile. Don't get carried away, Rika-chan. Don't just say that you can read the future. For a guy, words like destiny and fate mean a lot more than you think. They're not things you can figure out that easily.
Me?
I had no idea what he was trying to say, but he made me nervous. It wasn't a scary feeling. No, it was closer to hope. You said it was fate that the owner would choose the game of life. I have to admit your prediction was correct. But you also said something else.
What did I say?
You said I was fated to play it. Yes, it was indeed his fate. Fate can change sometimes with uncertainty at time. The possibility that would change in this situation was very slight. I doubted that anything would turn out differently. In that case, I'll change that fate.
Eh?
Keiichi stood up in a hurry. Let's go! Let's go, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And he started talking to Tomita and Okamura and his group members. Sorry, but I own that game at home. I know every little rule about it. What? Is that true? Yep. So that won't be a fair game for us to play. Sir, I'm sorry, but can you give us a different game? Sure. I'll bring you guys a different one. The owner picked up the Game of Life again and took it back into storage. As I remained there in shock, he returned with a game called Pop-Up Pirate. How about this one? Oh, that's the one where we stab a knife inside the barrel. What do you think, guys? This is a fair game, isn't it?
Yeah, the rules are simple enough. Let's play that one.
We got a deal now. We're gonna play Pop-Up Pirate. Keiichi winked at me as I stood there with my mouth open. It looked like he had just forcibly changed my prediction. But, for me, it's not that simple. It was supposed to be fate. Why the owner brought the Game of Life to their table. They were supposed to play that game. That's what happened last time. That's what was supposed to happen. But he just changed that fate in front of my eyes like it was nothing. It's as if somebody asked me to stand an egg on its end. And as I struggled to do so, Keiichi forcefully cracked the egg and make it stand up in front of me. I should have had a far greater power than Keiichi, but why was I feeling so weak? Was it because I wasn't trying to fight against fate so I wouldn't get hurt? Because I was going with the flow without trying too hard? What was I thinking? You looked so bored just a few minutes ago. I know why. You didn't want to play the fishing game, did you?
Yeah, I'm not going to hide it anymore.
Then that's easy. So I'm a witch who's been living for more than 100 years. So I thought I was better than everyone just because I can see the paths of fate. That's stupid. I really am so stupid. Keiichi tapped me on the back. He was urging me to return to my table. The sensation of his touch filled up my heart with emotion. I wasn't going to stand idly by anymore. I thought I couldn't cheat fate. I thought 2 weeks wasn't enough. But Keiichi just defied his fate in a matter of 5 minutes.
I feel bad for the fishies when I play the fishing game. I want to play something else.
Other people at my table looked at me with confused expressions. Reactions were scaring me. Right at that moment, I could feel that I was facing an impenetrable wall of fate. Even so, I have nothing to be scared of. Sure, what game do you want to play? We'll play whatever you want. Accepted my suggestion and gave up on the fishing game so easily. That's right, I used to be so much more aggressive before, but I became so tired and bitter and mean. I gave in to fate, but I'm not going to yield anymore. Keiichi taught me that. He didn't have any memories from his previous life, but Keiichi was still Keiichi. He'd never give in to fate.
For the first time in a long while, I feel motivated to fight. If I want to, I can change destiny and—
Oh wait, if I want to, I can change destiny in 5 minutes. Oh wait, no. That is Rika. I was right.
I can change destiny in 5 minutes. And I have 2 whole weeks to work with. I'm different now. I'm going to fight against fate. Let's do our best.
In contrast to my motivation, Hanyu was wearing a sad expression. See, why is Hanyu sad whenever Rika is happy? Suspicious. I don't know anything about Hanyu other than I don't freaking trust her. I don't trust her. I will never give in to this fate grand order. Yeah, they do the same thing. But it's so freaking true.
Your fate is not decided. Your fate is not your fate. It's all a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Rika implied she's much older than her.
Among Us,
right on top of Keiichi. Keiichi is among us. You're right. I see. I can't hold you here if you have to go help your uncle. Yeah, it's a pretty small store after all. You know. Wouldn't he have guessed if he did a bargain sale, the place would be packed? Can't believe he's selling a carton of eggs for only 10 yen. Goodness gracious. $1? Is that even $1? It might be 10 cents. Jesus. As we were getting ready to move on to the next stage, Mion got a call from work. This was fated to happen too. If I was still feeling depressed, I would have been disgusted with the situation. After learning what it felt like to change fate, I was in a good mood. Keiichi and Mion seemed like they kept regretting that they were unable to settle the match. They really are such good friends.
They're so close. I feel kind of jealous. Oh. We really do not have any other boys his age in our class, do we? I suppose Mion-san is something like a male friend to Keiichi-san.
Don't say that. Bro?
But Mi-chan is a girl. She can't be another guy for him. Of course I know that, but when they're together, they look like two boys hanging out.
How
sexist.
My sexist instincts. Ren and Satsuko enjoyed the lingering excitement of the day as they watched Mion and Keiichi happily goof off. Next moment, the owner came out from the store. Thank you for today, everyone. You brought me a lot of customers. He's holding 4 paper bags in his hands. I remember. Gave us gifts as a reward for today. I think there were dolls inside. Oh god. The dolls. This is where Keiichi gives the doll to Rena and not Mion. Which, quote unquote, set off the whole thing because, oh my god. Oh my god. Keiichi, don't. Keiichi, just give it to Mion, please. Oh my god. This is crazy. Oh my god. But if he gives it to Mion, maybe Rena will get sad and then Rena will be freaking going crazy. Maybe Rika will intervene. Maybe. Maybe. What are your rewards for today? Hey, Uncle Yoshiro! Don't I get one? He was giving them to only us. Mion didn't get anything because she's a family member. That's what happened last time, too.
Oh, look! Something cute is inside.
Satsuko let out a cheer of joy as she saw a cute doll inside of her bag. Rena acted the same way. Oh wait, Rena got one too. Wait, so only the 4 of them did. Rena already has one. So Keiichi has to give it to Mion, right? I don't know.
Wow. This is so cute. I can take it home with me? Really?
Wow, she can actually take it home with her. Did I get one too? Wow. Look at this cute doll. Keiichi got a gorgeous, expensive-looking doll. By far the best one. It was adorable even to my eyes. Satsuko, Rena, and Mion were feeling the same way. Haha, Kei-chan got one that fits him the least. Mion started making fun of him right away. She was only saying that because she was jealous that Keiichi got a doll that she really wanted. This is pretty and cute, I can admit that, but it's not really my type of toy. Yeah, people think you're a pervert if you carry that thing around. That's freaking messed up. Jesus. Mion just can't be honest with herself. It was obvious that she was trying to make him give up the doll so she could have it herself. She should just admit that and ask Keiichi for it. But that's the cute side of Mion. I bet Keiichi can never understand that. Keiichi can't keep the doll after receiving that much bullying from Mion. He was thinking about who he should give it to. Probably didn't want to give it to Mion. Time froze for a moment. That's what happened to me like 2 minutes ago. Hanyu whispers something in my ear.
Rika, do you remember?
Yes. I advised him on who he should give the doll to. I did nothing and watched the events unfold. Wait! Oh! Oh, let's go! No way! Choices! Oh, no way! Oh my god, we actually get choices. This is freaking awesome. This is awesome. This is the best freaking thing. Oh my god, there's no way! Oh my god, this is awesome! I had an inkling. I had an inkling this would happen. I had an inkling that choices would happen sometime in these later chapters. But I honestly didn't think that it would happen. Inkling, Splatoon inkling, shut up. Shut up. Oh my god, this is amazing. I really want to do this just to see the chaos, but I can't save. What? I can't save. Wait, yes I can. Hold on. Here we go. Save. Oh my god. Of course we're going to freaking advise him on who he should give the doll to. Of course. I'm not gonna be stupid. I feel like if you choose this, you are willingly being stupid. Oh, this is great. I choose to do the correct decision. I remembered. I remember that Keiichi's insensitive decision eventually created a fatal ending. That was fate. Keiichi was internally thinking he should give the doll to Mion. She was the only one who didn't get anything, so it would be natural for him to give it to her. But the hesitation he was feeling was because Mion was such a close friend to him. He'd been treating Mion as if she was a male friend. But it would be weird to give a doll to another boy. He was afraid that if he gave the doll to Mion, he would start looking at her as a girl from that point forward. He wanted to continue his friendship with Mion without thinking about their difference in gender. He didn't want to ruin the relationship they had at that moment. That's why he couldn't give the doll to Mion. Even though she was the only one without a doll, he felt so hesitant. Of course, that was only how he felt. Mion didn't agree. In actuality, she wished he would treat her more like a girl. I walked closer to Keiichi so I could talk to him. Mion heard me telling Keiichi to give her the doll. She would resist taking it. I had to make sure that no one but Keiichi could hear me. Also, to make this very quick, I poked Keiichi in the back. Huh?
Keiichi.
Keiichi, the person who really wants that doll, is the one who's bullying you the most about it. I was going to say that, but Keiichi opened his mouth first, even before I could say anything to him.
I know.
Wait, I know? What do you mean you know? What do you mean you know, Keiichi? I hadn't said anything to him yet, but Keiichi told me that he knew. I felt confused, not knowing what he just meant. He turned around to face Mion, smiling mischievously. Mion, you think I would look like a pervert with this doll. Who do you think deserves to have it? Huh? I don't know. All I'm saying is that dolls aren't for boys. I see, then I guess you could have it. Here. Keiichi tossed the doll to Mion as if passing her a basketball. Okay, so my choices didn't freaking matter, actually. Because, like, even if I hadn't done anything, Keiichi might have figured it out on his own. Which is fate. If you think about it. Right? The illusion of free choice. Keiichi tossed the doll to Mion as if passing her a basketball. As if forcing her to carry his bag or something. Mion's face quickly turned red. Feeling shy, Keiichi turned away from her. That was surprising. He got my message just by getting a tap on his back. Is Keiichi always that smart? Just one tap was all it took. I don't think he would have done the same in a previous life. This was just a small incident. This world is definitely different from the previous one. Or could it be? Perhaps he would have given that doll to me even if I didn't poke him in the back. Does he have memories from our previous worlds after all?
No way, he can't. That can't be happening.
I know for a fact that he doesn't have those memories. It might be something imperceptible somewhere inside his heart. He might remember some of the regrets he felt in the previous worlds. That's why he strongly felt he should be giving the doll to Mion this time. After repeating so many lives, I'm the only one who can even notice this slight growth of his. But I see it. It's clearly visible to me. Mion, having turned red, insisted that the cute doll would be a much better fit for Rena. Her attitude made it clear that she really wanted the doll, but couldn't be honest about it. This soul man just thinks that cute dolls like this are more for girly girls, you know. This doll doesn't deserve to be owned by a tomboy like me. Oh god, this is so freaking reminiscent of my childhood. God. People be like this all the time. I know that you want it. It's written all over your face. No, it's not written on my face. You're lying. Stop being mean. Yoon shook her head with an embarrassed look, pretending that she wasn't interested in the doll. Everyone here knew that she wanted it. They all looked at Mion with big smiles on their faces. Hey, it's not like I can only give this doll to a girl. Just think of it as my gift to you, as a friend. Is that so? You would give a doll to a boy too? Well, I would choose something else if I had a choice. But anyway, guys would never reject a gift unless there was something shady going on. Just me being generous. Why would you refuse it? Oh, so I can accept this doll even though I'm not a girly girl? What? Girly girls and tomboys can get the same things? My mind is blown. Everyone thought Mion's reaction was hilarious. Rena couldn't stop chuckling. Satsuko and I burst out laughing too. Mion, having realized she was being laughed at, got even more embarrassed. I'm offering this to you as a friend. I don't want to hear that you're not cherishing it. Okay. This old man just wants to make it clear that he's not accepting this because he wants this doll. He's taking it because you said it's a gift from you as a friend. He's taking it as courtesy that he doesn't disrespect your generosity. Honey was cracking up too. She was laughing in a loud voice, knowing that no one could hear her anyway. This was a really good way to resolve the... Was this really a good way to resolve the problem? I thought that Mion's issue in the previous life was that she wanted Keiichi to treat her like a girl. She got the doll, but Keiichi still wasn't treating her that way. Still, Mion looked very happy. Maybe it wasn't a big deal after all. I'm sure that Mion will take that doll with her to bed tonight. She'll kiss it goodnight too. I could bet on that. It was written all over her face. Okay, so I guess this timeline, this fragment, you could call it. I'm gonna call them fragments because that's what they say. This fragment is going to be similar to the second chapter that I can't remember. Something. Collect my fragments. Shut up! Oh my god. She's finally accepted it. It was a challenge just for me to give her the doll. Keiichi turns around to face us, smiling bitterly.
You did it though.
Yep.
Yep, it was perfect. I'm impressed that you managed it. Mion-san was hilarious. It was obvious the moment you looked that she really wanted the doll.
Isn't that the truth? Hey, you guys. Are you saying rude things about this old man? Knock it off already.
Don't you have to get to work? You're going to be late.
You guys better watch yourselves. Mion seemed like she wanted to stay longer, but after looking at her watch, she started heading to work. Everyone was wearing smiles on their faces. Today was such a fun day. Everyone had lots of fun, and no one was hurt. Repeated this same day so many times before. But this time, something was different. It's like I rolled a die and got a 6. And then I rolled it again and got a 6 again. I don't know if this was just a lucky coincidence, or if it was meant to be. It's as if the god of fate is celebrating my motivation to fight against him. Interesting. Collect my fragments. No, there's 2 fragments left. 2 chapters left. Good times with a Yashiro-sama? What the heck? What do you mean by this? Achievement called The Game of Life. Description: one road leads to another. So wholesome. You'll find out! Oh, great. What? There's 8 chapters, just like the page first. Collect my pages. There's 8 pages. What the heck? Good times with Yashida-sama. I was watching TV with Satoko and Hanyu after eating dinner. It was a variety show, and the performers were making the audience laugh. We were laughing too.
Ho ho ho. Look at you now. Oh, but it looks so painful. Meepa.
The 3 of us were enjoying ourselves. In reality, there was only Satoko and me in the room. I'm the only one who can see Hanyu. Satoko can't see her at all. Hanyu responds every time Satoko says anything. Satoko can't hear her, but Hanyu still responds to her like when she's in a good mood. Like she's answering a question asked on TV. You could even compare it to playing house. She started playing this game with other people, because she can't communicate with anyone else but me. Hanyu always attends our club meetings and has a good time there too. She could communicate with my other friends. She would have been a good match for us. I don't want to hurt her feelings by thinking about that. If the story of the miracle was written in the old scriptures is true, if it's really Hanyu who performed it, she's someone who has had tremendous power long ago. But now she doesn't have any spiritual power, and I'm the only one who can even see her. Hanyu has never told me how she lost her power. I just have to assume that her spiritual power diminished over time. There's a legend in the Furude family that says Oyashiro-sama will be reborn if a girl is born to the family 7 generations in a row. At my birth, Hanyu was finally able to communicate with a human for the first time in centuries. Does that mean Oyashiro-sama has returned? The villager's image of Oyashiro-sama doesn't quite match up with that of Hanyu. Especially when I see her lying on her belly and watching TV with Satoko. Wow. So Hanyu is actually Oyashiro-sama. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, I have like 20 minutes. And you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? I'm going to go back to this. And I'm going to choose the other one. Because screw this. Perhaps a priestess of her. That's true, yeah. She does have like the priestess outfit on. I did nothing! Thought about telling Keiichi to give the doll to Mion. I stayed quiet because I wanted to believe in him. We were in the same situation in a previous life. Keiichi gave the doll to Rena. Mion was deeply hurt by that, and the tragedy began shortly after that. If I didn't do anything and just watched him now, things were going to end up in the same way. But I'm sure that Keiichi deeply regretted the fact that he didn't give the doll to Mion in that previous world. While I was aware that he didn't have any memories from that world, I was hoping that his heart vaguely remembered that strong emotion. I challenged him, without telling him anything. Keiichi is contemplating whether he should give the doll to Mion or Rena. He finally opens his mouth. Okay. That's awesome. Oh, that's so good. That's so freaking good. Aww. That's so cute. A bit sad they're the same. Yeah. But I guess I'm used to playing visual novels, so I'm used to choices not actually mattering. You know, but I'm just happy that Keiichi was able to do it in both situations. He found out on his own that he was supposed to give it to Mion. Yeah, it really works. Yeah, in this situation, it's like, what? It's not a huge deal to me.
Keiichi. Rika, this might just be a coincidence, you know.
Strong will is directly related to fate. His will to give the doll to Rena was weak. This might have been a result of that. I don't feel it was just a coincidence. I believe that Keiichi remembers something in his heart. Because of that, he made some progress. Mion having turned red, yeah. Yep. Good job, Keiichi. Whoops, I turned on sticky keys. Whoopsie daisy. But Yeah, same thing. But I feel like Ryukishi is testing out choices. That's what he's doing. He's testing out choices. He's like, how do I make choices? How do I code this? I don't know. I don't know how to do this. But I guess, you know, he testing the waters. It'll be better later, maybe. Honestly, I doubt it. I don't expect any decisions when in this type of game, because this is known as like a static visual novel. So maybe decisions will happen later. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I don't expect much of anything in terms of decisions. If there is a decision, it probably won't mean much. But I will treat every decision as if it's huge. Because, just in case. You know? Just in case. As I treat all visual novels. With great severity and seriousness. Anyway, that'll be it for today. Thank you guys for joining me for Higurashi. While we start our next journey of Chapter 7. Pretty freaking wild already. Yeah, you can tell that this is already just very different in terms of like vibe, atmosphere. Our goal is different. Like, we have a goal this time. We know what's going on this time. So we start right out the gate trying to change things. Compared to like every other chapter where we just kind of ride the wave, as she was saying. Ride the river, whatever. The river of time. But have a good day.
Have a good bite.
And I'll see you guys next time.